Lovelies and gentlefolk. I'm Kimberly Hiley, a freelance concept artist and creature designer. This is my first tutorial in a series. I've put the link to the series in the description. If you'd like to support the making of more videos, please check out my project Ancient Chronicles and consider donating to its Ko-fi page. In this video, I'm going to show you a few ways I go about making something glow. Let's get into it. This first technique is the long way to make glow. To start, I'll duplicate the circle layer. Then I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. If you'd like the objects to emit a dim light, the feathering should stay fairly close to the object. Don't extend it out too far. If the object is meant to be bright, push the feathering out further, but be sure to avoid blurring it so much that the color is lost. Now I'm going to create a clipping mask. I use these a lot. To do this, put a new layer immediately above the plain circle layer. In Clip Studio Paint, you can either right-click the new layer, Layer Settings, Clip to Below, or press this convenient button here that I keep forgetting about. In Photoshop, right-click on the new layer, Create Clipping Mask. Now anything you apply will be limited to the color information the clipping mask is attached to. I'm going to add some depth to the circle by painting in shadows and highlights to make it look like a glowing glass marble. Because of how light refracts through glass, it's typical for the perimeter of the sphere to be darker than the center. When I unhide the glow layer, the glow washes out the work I just did. So I will put the glow layer underneath the circle layer, and there's one more step. I'm going to duplicate the circle layer one more time and place that above the clipping mask. I don't want this layer to be a clipping mask. I'm going to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur again, but I'll be keeping the setting low so it doesn't blur it too much. And this one is all finished now. The second technique is the quick and easy way and the method that I prefer. I'm going to create a new layer and select a soft round brush to then hand paint in the glow. And like before, I'll put this layer behind the circle layer, and finally a quick spot of color will finish this. I'll adjust the opacity as well. Now that I've shown you a couple ways to make glow, I'll show you how to apply it to two other objects. We'll start with this eye. Much like the second circle, I'm going to select the color I'd like and paint the glow on a new layer. Then I'll adjust the opacity to my liking. Because this eye is emitting light, you will have to think about how light travels and affects the things around it. There are a lot of structures around this eye, so each one would be catching the light from the eye. The farther the structures are from the light source, the duller the catch lights will be. To show that the tear ducts and third eyelid have a sheen to them since they're in the eye, I'll add a few extra highlights. And finally, I'll show you one more trick with this symbol. I want it to look like it's carved into stone. First things first, I'll grab a hard round brush and use the color black like I did on the stone, and reference the stone's angle to deboss the symbol. Now I'll hand paint the glow, Gaussian blur it, and adjust the opacity. And like the eye, every imperfection and crack in the stone coin will be catching the light from the symbol. Glow is my favorite thing to paint, and you can play around with it a lot. Try throwing in some speckles or dust, maybe some particles, or you can even grab a fun brush or the smudge tool to make the glow waft away from its light source. I hope this was helpful. I have a few tutorials lined up that I'm excited to create and share. If you like comics, science fiction, or fantasy, check out Ancient Chronicles. Please consider donating to my project's Ko-fi page if you'd like to support the making of the story and more content like this video. In the meantime, if there's something you really want to know how to do, leave a suggestion in the comments. Thank you for watching! Bye-bye.